gratitude is hugely powerful emotion. It outweighs any negative emotion. And I've learned that when I'm angry, I try and be grateful, because it's impossible to be angry and grateful, or sad and grateful, or jealous and grateful. Um, and so it's probably one of the two most important principles that I try and live my life by. I think it's the idea that, nowadays everything is instantaneous. We've got all our favorite shows on Netflix. We can order a takeaway through Deliveroo and have it there in 20 minutes. Order a taxi from our couch. Everything happens immediately, and I think a consequence of that is that we're not very patient, and it's a big reason why I think that, say, a lot of people who go into business, they give up after a few years when they're not making big money. And speaking from an athlete point of view, I've seen so many players that were so talented and just weren't really prepared to put in the work, and when they didn't get the results in 3 or 4 years and lost a few matches, they thought that was that they'd tried hard enough and that they weren't going to make it to the top. And I think, a lot of that hard work, we say, are stuff, those things that we don't want to do, like set up a business or, go to training at 7 a.m. We see those as things that we have to do, when, in actuality, it's that we can do them and that they're a privilege. And I think the last 2 months have opened a lot of people's eyes to that. And I don't think I'm ever gonna say to myself, at 7 a.m. when I have to go to the gym or go to training, I don't think I'm ever gonna think of it as a burden or a bad thing ever again, because I've missed it so much now that I don't have it. And I think, if people were to, switch, like, look at these things that they think are a burden and see them as a privilege, I think a lot of people's lives would change. I can get up, and I wouldn't call it meditation now. I did that for a while. I probably haven't been as good, but I try and just take 5 or 10 minutes in the morning, maybe over a cup of coffee, and just think about my life, and just, take a few, because, I think during the day we're busy and don't really actually think about the most simple things. And so I try and set out, 3 things every morning that I'm grateful for. And, it actually makes you feel a lot better. It's funny, it sounds so simple, but, they can be 3 things, any 3 things. It is a habit, there's been a lot of days mine where, I'm not very grateful. I'm pretty angry, at the way that played out, or getting knocked out of the tournament early. I kind of forget that, hold on a minute, like, I'm playing for Ireland, I'm funded, I had sponsors, I've reached quite a high level, and I have a chance to go to the Olympics. And, there's players back home that would give anything and everything, even to be able to travel to these competitions, never mind win them. So, I try and, once I've calmed down and maybe take a day or 2 out, I start to understand that, I'm actually very, very lucky. And, I've nothing to be angry about at all. Obviously, there's always going to be things that you're not too happy about, or stuff that frustrates you, or things that make you sad. But, we've an awful lot of good things in our life. And it's like what my neighbor used to tell me, when we all put our cards out on the table, I think we'd all be very quick to take our own back before we take someone else's problems. And, that's the way I try and live my life. Just make the most of it and be very grateful for what I have.